Welcome back to Ciprani Consulting's Client Spotlight. I am with two amazing, high-powered ladies today. So I'm with the Regional Director of Keller Williams North Central Region, as well as Operating Principal of Keller Williams Preferred Realty and CEO of the HerCamp home group, #1 team in the North Central group. I think I got all that right. Olivia Manson.
That's enough. That's enough.
Good, good. And I am also with and have the privilege of being with Ciceley Davis, who is the new team leader of KW Preferred. So thank you guys both so much for being on this month's Client Spotlight. As we're getting started, Olivia, I want to start with you. This isn't like, I think this is the big search, right, of what we do in KW world. I wanted to just start with you and ask you, why did you decide to work with Ciprani Consulting for this hire? What were some of the reasons that made you decide, you know what, I need some leverage here?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I've known your company for, years and the reputation. I've seen Linzee on stage with Gary Keller. I am a really big believer in leverage, right? Gary teaches us leads, listings, and leverage. And I leverage things personally, professionally, and I just knew when I was going to be without a team leader. I was stepping into the RD role for the North Central. I still was coaching and leading HHG. I just knew there was no way that I could do this without leverage, because I knew it would save a lot of time for me. And so ultimately, at the end of the day, I chose to hire you to save time and help those efficiencies on my calendar.
I love that. Yeah, so you're wearing a lot of hats, so obviously you just needed some time back. That makes a lot of sense. One more question for you, Olivia. So I'd love to ask you, this is a big decision, right? Hiring a team leader is a huge decision in itself. What was one thing that you were really excited about when the process began? And what was one thing maybe you're a little bit fearful of or scared of as we got going?
That's a good question. Excited about the leverage of the back and forth of scheduling interviews.
Yes.
I really loved I loved being able to watch those initial screening interviews. I typically did it when I was getting my nails done on 1.5 speed on the private YouTube channel,
Nice.
but I watched them outside of work so that I could not be distracted by all the other things. And so
Right.
I think just the leverage of time of not having to go back and forth with the candidate to schedule.
Yes.
It just was, hey, what's your availability? I would give 2 times and then Maggie would just, schedule it. So I think the time of the back and forth and sending the KPA and,
Right.
literally just, yeah, just so many things. I mean, at the end of the day. And then what was the second part of the question?
Yeah. So was there anything that you were worried about as we were getting started?
Oh yeah, I mean, of course, you feel like you're giving up a little control. And as a high D,
Yeah.
you feel like you have to control everything, but at the end of the day, that was just a limiting belief.
Yeah. Well, practicing that 80/20 principle.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you. So, Ciceley, you went through quite a process to become the team leader. And again, congratulations on that.
Oh boy.
Yeah. I would
Yes.
love to hear from you just on what that was like, to go through a really extensive process, right? Where you did interviews with us, we did screening calls, and then you went through the career visioning process of KW, and we did reference checks, and we had conversations before we even brought you on, lots of different things in the career visioning process. But tell me a little bit about what that was like from your perspective.
Well, I will say that instantly from day one, I can tell you that I've never been through a process such as this, which then gives you that real sense that they meaning Olivia and KW in itself, is very serious about their vetting process. They're very serious and they take seriously who they onboard and who is somewhat allowed or privileged to be a part of such an exceptional company. And so that in itself sends a signal that, and you should for any interview, but more so for this on a totally different level and a high level, at highest level, take this very, very seriously and really make a decision as a candidate, even before I even spoke with anyone, to say, hey, do I really want this? Right? Because when I learned of the process, said, hey, this is going to be very serious. It's going to be very involved, and you absolutely need to make sure that it's something that I want, but, that I really understand this process and really want to go through it. And then, of course, then to show up and put my best foot forward. So
I love that. So you were excited, it sounds like, and obviously you stuck it out.
ecstatic.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
absolutely ecstatic.
that's a clue right there for any OP out there. I always say, you want people that want the job, not a job.
Right.
And you can use this process as a tool for vetting people. If they're not excited like you were all the way through, and knowing that's what you really want,
Yeah.
I think that's a really important thing that you said there. And that's why I think you're in the seat. That's awesome. Yeah. So, Olivia, back to you. I want to just ask you, once we were kind of going through this, you worked with one of our top recruiters, but just give me a little bit of experience of what that was like for you. Like you said, you gave up some of that control. What did you feel like you got back in return there?
Oh, like a million hours a week. I don't know. I mean, Maggie was she just made it so easy. When she said she was going to do something, she did. When she said I was going to get a Friday update with just different videos and of interviews and, sharing the spreadsheet with how many people they'd contacted. I mean, everything that she said she was going to do, she did. And so what did I get back? A ton of time. I mean, and just again, I think we overlook the time in a day. But then I was without a team leader for 10 weeks or 10 months.
Right.
10
Right.
months.
Right.
So when you
We were
think
at it for a
about
while. Yeah, absolutely.
it was 10 months. I know exactly how long it was. It was 10
Yeah.
months. And
Right.
so when you think about, well, this is just, one hire and it's a big investment. And yet, no, when you look at how many hours, I mean, it was probably 8 hours per candidate. And
Right.
Maggie found me a lot of candidates. And
Right.
so but I didn't have to do all the digging and the scrubbing and the initial interview or the initial screening interview and the scrubbing of all the resumes, and I didn't have to send the KPA. I mean, just even to go in and send a KPA is
Yes.
5-6 minutes, and it's just
Right.
another thing to try to remember to do. And so when that's leveraged out to someone, it's so much easier.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I love that. Well, I have just two more. I have one
Yeah.
for each of you and one more before that for you, Olivia.
Yeah.
You could give yourself one piece of advice when you were starting this process over again. What would that be if you were to work on this again? Not for this position, of course, but
Yeah, no, we're not doing this again. Because
No, you're not.
Ciceley's the
No,
one.
you're not. No, you are not.
I mean, I think I probably would just hire you guys again. I mean, really, like and actually there's another role inside the office that we might need to hire for. And I was talking to the staff actually this morning about you all. So
Yeah.
I would just, and I've referred you to multiple people.
yes, yeah, you've been such a
Because-
blessing. Absolutely.
Yeah, because it's just such a time saver. But following the models, you guys know the model. So I guess the one piece of advice would be I just do it again. I
Do it again.
just hire you again.
Awesome. So let's go to Ciceley first for this one. What's next for you guys? You have this really cool partnership that's beginning, and it's exciting. Ciceley, what are you excited about, or what's next?
Well, I'm excited now to just completely fulfill the role, to live up to the expectations of Olivia, high level expectations, to just really, truly just rock this role. And then together, when we are, synchronized and we're doing this job and we're partnering, I'm looking forward to joining her and figuring out, hey, what's next? Where can we take this position and take it to the next level, or what else could there be to look beyond the level itself? So achieve at a high level in the role, and then to say to Olivia, when we're doing that on a regular basis, what's next?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
love that. And same question for you, Olivia. I know you're taking over the Twin Cities, but for the people that are watching this, how can they send referrals to you guys, or what are you guys most excited about next for your offices, or all
Yeah.
that you're doing?
Yeah, no, we're most excited to fulfill my vision of 400 agents and $1 million in profit share. How to eat an elephant, one bite at a time. So for us, it's reaching 250 agent count, and then it's 300, and then eventually it's sharing $1 million a year in profit share. You can send referrals to us. We are in the greater Twin Cities area. So Olivia M, as in Manson, at kw.com. And then from a regional level, I've shared your information with multiple of my OPs. I cover 6 states. And I have been talking to them about as they need a new team leader, leveraging their time because some of them haven't taken career visioning or 30, 60, 90 or success through others in quite some time. And so I have shared, not only will you get to save time by hiring you, but they will get the expertise that you have as a company, because some of them are just a little maybe a little rusty in
Yeah,
that,
sure,
in
sure.
that category. So yeah.
Well, thank you both so much for being here. And I would say for anybody that does know someone in that area, I mean, both of these ladies are phenomenal leaders. We talk a lot about servant leadership in Keller Williams, but Olivia, you really embody that. Just in what you do for people. I know you have a million things, and just want to thank you again so much for making some time to do.
Absolutely.
So thank you guys both for being here, and it's been a pleasure.
Our pleasure. Thank
Our
you.
pleasure. Thank
Bye.
you.